Harry's wife came from Chatham, Alabama, which is in South Alabama, and her daddy was a school principal. And so every year when we would have AEA, Earlene, they had a car at this particular time. She would take Bunny and, not Bunny, but Don and Kathy, and they would go to Chatham to see her mother and daddy and spend a few days during AEA holidays. So that was a ritual that they had been doing for many years. So on the way down there, Earlene went out, was going to pass somebody, and they were going downhill, and somehow or another, she had a wreck with this car, and Kathy was killed immediately. She was beheaded, and Don was laying over there, up under a tower from this truck. Earlene was hurt real bad. She was cut up. Her arm was nearly cut off. It was so bad. And it was a terrible time for Fairfield. Everybody knew them because they had kids all ages, and they were in everybody's class. They were big members of our church, and everybody loved them, and it was just a sad, sad time. Plus, a little 12-year-old girl getting beheaded in a terrible accident was just the most horrifying thing you can think of. And I was pregnant with Don at that particular time. But Earlene and Kathy came nearly every Saturday during schools to play with my children. They loved my little boys. And they had such a good time. And Kathy had just been there on Saturday when this accident happened, like Tuesday of the next week. So it was brand fresh new. Oh, I cried and I cried and I cried. I thought I was going to lose my mind thinking about that little girl getting killed. But everybody was like that about me. It was just a horrible thing. I get choked up just talking about her now. It was so sad. And we're so scared that Harry would have a mental breakdown after that. But you know, he was the strongest person of all. He grieved, but he didn't have any problems after that. We were so worried. And Earlene was sick for a long time because her arm was nearly cut off. She had a terrible cut on her arm. And other injuries too. Yeah. And Don was thrown out of the car. And after everybody was there at the wreck, they didn't know that Don was even living, didn't even know he was in the car. Don said, after everybody was beginning to leave, he said, if everybody's about through, would somebody get this truck off of my arm? They didn't know he was down there, and so they got him off and took him off to the hospital too. I know he must have nightmares all the time thinking about being trapped up under that truck and knowing that his mother was bad off and that his sister was beheaded in it. It was just a horrible thing.